Today we're going to redraw an existing set of plans from a real project, taking it step by step from the walls to the windows and doors, and even the roof, with a bunch of troubleshooting in between. To kick off, I've taken a photo of these plans here, and I've brought them into the ArchiCAD file. From here, we'll want to start by redrawing the existing external walls. So I've taken some photos on site. So this area here is this area just here. So this is engaged brickwork just on this portion here. So to kick off, I'm going to draw in these walls around this area. Now, before I get too much further, I want to take this and I'll want to rotate the actual drawing itself. This way, I've got it lengthwise across the page, which is going to be much easier to fit onto an A3 page. Let's kick off with our first wall, and I'll go in through to my 110 brick existing. So from here, I'll just start in the corner that we started on the measure up, 6040, next up 1340, and I'm just going to go around the entire structure, doing each one of these walls. Now, one thing worth noting is that this drawing itself isn't to scale, so we can't just trace over these drawings. We have to use the measurements that we've got on the actual plans themselves. So even though things are starting to get a little bit away from what the drawing looks like, that's okay because we're just using the measurements. 4205. Now, it looks like we haven't got any external measurements for this portion here. And I'm pretty sure it's because we had a fence here, as well as just over on this portion here. So if I pick up this picture, yep. So there was a fence just here and a fence just here that prevented us from getting access to taking these measurements just in through here. But that's okay because we can use internal measurements to fill out this area. So for the time being, I'm just going to draw a line across through to here. Looks like we're pretty close. We're about 60-ish mil. Now, the reason why we've got a 0.1, I presume, is most likely going to be because we've got angled walls. The angled walls, unlike the rest of our walls, which are at 90 and at 0, might leave us with dimensions that are slightly off what we typically use, which is either 0s or 5s. This way we don't end up with odd dimensions. We'll continue to refine this as we start drawing more and more of the existing in. Now, one other thing worth noting, I've drawn all of these in as double brick, but these here, except for this one just here in the garage, are going to be brick veneer. So what I will do is I'll deselect this one here, and I'm going to use the cut tool. I'm going to cut and select this way. I'm going to change all these to brick veneer. So I'll go into my walls, and I'll change this to a 250 brick veneer. There we go. And all of those push on in. Now I've set this to the proposed brick veneer. I want to set this one to the existing. There we go, that's better. Having a different existing versus proposed helps us delineate what is going to be altered and what is remaining as existing. Next thing we want to do, we want to start building out the existing internals, and that will start refining the external footprint for this section just up here as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this front wall just here from the garage. It's a 110 wall, so I'm just going to push that in 110. So now that's just ready to draw in like this. So I'm going to go 5845, which is this internal dimension that we've got here. Now this wall steps in. So what I'm going to want to do, I'll just draw a wall here. I'll bring it up. Then I'm going to bring this down 3420. I'll extend this wall out just here. And then I'm going to intersect these two walls. So intersect is just this tool here. I've got mine set up with a little shortcut, just so it's quicker and easier. Looks like we've got our dimension from here to here, 2255, which is slightly different to what our measurement is here. Seeing as these two walls don't connect up, I'm going to interpret these to try and make it work. So if I grab these walls just here that we've just created, I'll bring this one on down to here, and then I'll bring this up 2255, and let's see where that brings us to. So much closer to this wall actually matching up with this side one just here, which means that this wall here might need a little bit of massaging. And this could be due to these angled walls not being at exactly 45 degrees. They could be a little bit further across or back, which is going to mean the wall's position is going to be further up or back. So we'll just have to compensate as we go. From here, I'm just going to check a couple of the other internal dimensions. 5790, 5795. That's pretty close. 5 mil is within an acceptable tolerance. All right, so I've got all these external wall dimensions here. I don't have a dimension from this wall here in through to this wall here, which is a pity. But what I can do is I can use this dimension that I picked up just here. So I'm going to click and drag this wall. I'm going to flip it around. Then I'm going to drag it just to here. And then I'm going to pull it across. How much is this dimension? 3040. There we go. Now I've typed that one in. Now I'll intersect these two walls here. Interestingly, these walls don't match up, so we're going to have to figure out what's going on here. Let's check what the difference in the dimension is. About 155. This could be from a few things. This might mean that the dimension itself was actually picked up from this portion of the engaged brick pier. So this width just here is going to be at least 110 extra to that brickwork there. So what I'll do, I'll just bring this one back 110 and hit enter. And that's getting us much closer already because we've just drawn that from the inside instead of, say, that engaged brick, which leaves us a difference of about 45, which is getting much closer. Now, ideally, we would have had a overall picked up from here to here. And this way, we don't have to do as much interpreting, but we can still work around this. And what might be best is just to come back to this area after we've got a bunch of the other areas drawn up. So what I'll do with these areas drawn up, I'll just continue to work my way through these areas just here. So I'm going to pick up this wall just here. I'm going to create a duplicate. Now that's the other thing. So these are all still 110 brick walls that I've done up, but this isn't necessarily the case. These here are going to be 90 stud walls, 90 stud existing walls. These are engaged external brick walls, whereas these are internal walls. So we'll change over those right now, just so we don't get too far doing everything as 110, because these internal walls won't brickwork. Okay, next up, let's do this wall just here. Let's go 90 mil, and we'll go 2710, which I've just picked up this dimension just from here. Let's do our laundry and get a couple of quick wins in. Let's go 90 mil. So I've just got it so that when I'm dragging it, it's from internal face to internal face, which is 2050 in this case. Well, let's duplicate that again, 90, and we'll tidy up this space just under here in a sec. There's a lot of different things going on in the drawing at the moment between the actual measure up and the drawing that we're creating itself. But this is the quickest way I've found to be able to use the reference drawing and draw over the top at the same time. They're not lining up, again, just because it isn't to scale. Next up, we've got this ensuite. I'm just going to drag this up a little bit so I can start seeing these dimensions a bit better. There we go. So let's go Control D and 2220 from this wall here to this one here. And let's check and see how our bedroom is traveling. So I'll grab the dimension tool and I'm just going to dimension up. Oops, I'm just going to set it to the correct geometry method, I think. This one here. We've got this on dimensions. There we go. All right, let's select this wall and our other ones and just see how we're traveling compared to our actual measurements. Double click and there we go. How are we going? So 3980. We're a fair bit off on this one. I'm curious as to what could be causing it. I dare say it might be the angle of the wall, might be causing our trouble in a couple of these different areas. We'll have to come back to these in a minute. But this is where drawing the rest of the internal walls can actually help us define the footprint of the exterior portion. Now, this external wall here is punched out, but we'll come back to that in a minute. For the time being, let's just keep on connecting up the dots. Let's drag our reference up a little bit. So we've got a hallway just here. Sadly, we also don't have a dimension between these areas here, so we're just going to have to intuit it through a couple of other areas as well. All right, I'm just going to jump into these bedrooms just down here. Click and drag this one up, 4180. I'll connect these two, and then I'll get the width for the bedroom. So at the moment, just following all the different dimensions that we do have on the plans. And while I'm going through it, I'm typically checking just to see how close we are to the dimensions that we've taken on site. So this wall to this wall just here, and I'll double click up here. That's 9595, and the dimension we took is 9605. So that's about 10 mil. So that's pretty close. 10 mil difference from here to here. And considering that these structures here, they say 250, they're not including the actual plasterboard. So we're pretty much bang on in some areas like this, which is great because we're checking the dimensions as we go and we can confirm what's bang on and what might have been adjusted along the way with tolerances that have built up through the different building materials. Now, when we are drawing up, for our workflow anyway, we don't typically draw with the finishes on the walls. So this means that we're just drawing from the actual stud itself, not from the plasterboard. This is one of my favorite bits. When we've got 3 different walls and we do an intersection, check this out. Boom. That's pretty cool. Very satisfying. Now this wall that we've got here at the moment, we're almost 200 mil out. So 205 mil. Here's the difference between what the measurement is and the measurement that we've got once we've drawn up all the walls. It's always handy to have a second dimension to reference and check off of, which we're going to use this one just here. So 4840. So that's from this internal wall to this internal wall here. Now that's showing up at 5010. which means if I draw this line in here and I go 4840, and then if I check out the difference between this and this, so that's 170, and this one here and this one here is 200. So that means that something along the way has pushed us out by almost roughly 200 mil. And what I'm suspecting is that it might be this wall just here. So what I'd be best off doing is, if these dimensions here and here are closer than the dimension that we ended up with via this one here, then we'd be better off averaging between these two dimensions just here, which is essentially 30 mil difference between this one here and this one here. So if we divide that by 2 and just go, say, 15 over one dimension and 15 under the other, then we should end up with a more accurate overall dimension. So if we go 4840 and we hit enter and then we give it an extra 15, then that should be pretty close. So if we close those two up and then we check what this dimension is here, 4030, and our dimension was 3980. So almost about 50 mil-ish out just in that portion there, which isn't ideal, but much closer than 200 mil. So I'm always trying to pick up extra dimensions whenever I can. So let's go ahead and take our reference off. And with that, we've pretty much got all of our walls done. So all in all, if I line up the drawing, we're pretty far out in this part here, which is to be predicted. This is where we ended up stopping going to scale because we ran out of page. All right, so from here with all the external and internal walls drawn up, I'm now going to go through and put in all of the different openings from windows to doors and everything between. So again, I find it easiest to actually have the measure up underneath just so I can line up roughly what doors and windows are instead of having to look up and down from the pad all the time. Makes it easier for me anyway. So kicking off, I'll go to the door and then I will select the garage door that we've got just here. I'm going to select and place this one into the wall. And I'll type in its dimension. We've got 2200, which is height. So we've always got our height and then our width. That way, no matter what, for any opening or window, it's going to be universal. We're going to type in the height and then the width and not mix the two up. This is the system that I use here in New South Wales. Whereas previously at another job up in Queensland, we did it the opposite way. So it depends where you work, but always keep them one way or the other. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot of confusion. But that's where having pictures comes in really handy. And again, same thing here with the windows. I'm going to go to the window tool and I'm just going to go to our window sliding, this one here, and I'm going to enter this one in. Now, while I'm drawing these up, I do have the dimensions turned on. So these dimensions just here that you can see on the outside. When we're actually finishing the drawings, we're going to want to turn off all of these for the existing drawings. So it's easier again to delineate between what's existing and what is new. As we're going through, we're just using each of these different markers that we drew up to reference where the window and door is within the actual plan itself. So we've done that for this window here. Now to do it for this door, so we'll bring this one down and bring it back up, 455. Looks like I haven't noted the action for this window just here. So I'll just go to the photos that I took on site, and that is this window just here, which you can see is just a sliding window, just from the way the panels are all set up. So I'll just keep that as a sliding window. Now, one other thing, just when we're drawing up the existing, you'll see where the window is placed within the wall itself. So you'll see that it's inset. So typically for a brick veneer, this inset is about 85 mil. So we'll type that one in, and that roughly centers it, if not perfectly centers it, inside the actual wall itself. So just want to keep in mind if you're drawing up brick veneer. Oh, now one other thing, we'll just want to make sure that the head height for the windows is set correctly as well. So what I'll do, I'll just select all the windows here that I've got at the moment by holding in the eyedropper. So I'll use eyedropper. I'll select the window, I'll go Control A, which will select all the windows within the walls. And now I'm just going to set it to 2100, which is my head height that I set just up here. So if I pop into the 3D and I scroll on around, so the head height is how high the head of the window is to the actual wall base. Now, when you're actually setting it, you'll just want to make sure that you've got it set on the right one of these. So if you've got it set to one of the other ones and then you type in, say, 2100, it's going to set it all completely wrong. So just make sure that it is header to wall base, and we're going to go 2100 for this one. Okay. Now, sometimes it could be 2400, so don't just assume that it's always 2100. Make sure you take a measurement on site. All right, and with that, we've done all of the windows. So if we have a little quick look-see at that. Next up, we just need to finish off doing the doors. So again, I'll just put the reference under, and I'll start going through and doing each of the individual doors. Again, I'll just go to the door tool. So from here, it's pretty much just going to the door. We'll pick up this one just here, putting it into the wall, and offsetting it the dimension that we've listed it, which in this case, it looks like I've missed the dimension for the 820 door just here, how far it's offset from this wall here. So again, I'll just go to the photos, this one just here. We can see it's pretty much 0. I'd say about 75 mil off, just because it's got architraves around it. So this is where photos come in so critical. If there is a dimension that hasn't been picked up, we can pick it up essentially just by looking at the photograph, for non-critical members anyway. So let's just go say 75 mil. And now we have got all of the doors drawn in. Let's check it out in 3D. Double clicking on the mouse button, and yeah, it's come along a treat. That's pretty cool. All right, so from here, next up, we'll want to put in all the different room names. Very easy. So we'll just go undo, put this back, and we'll just go through with the text tool, this one just here, and just typical 2mm in font size at 1:100. Living, there we go. And we've got it at Arial as well for the font type. So living, we'll go bed. Now this drawing's obscuring our view a little bit, so I'll just put this on the story below. I'll cut and paste it just to there, and then I'll go back up story, control up, and that way I can just go through. I've got these rooms relatively memorized, so it should be easy now. Just go through and duplicate it and label out through each of these different rooms. Now with text, we'll always want to keep it horizontal. The only exception being for the robes, where if they are vertical like this, we'll just put in the text vertical. Or if they're horizontal, we'll put them in horizontal. But always keeping the text the same orientation where possible.